Hello, everyone. So, all artists go through a writer's block. It can be hard to get back into the things that we do and love, and it can also be hard for me to get back into my drawing after a long time of not being active. So, back in 2023, I started creating a book that I wanted to sell in the market that is a tutorial on how to draw cartoon characters. However, I never completed it because there was a lot behind it. But I decided that I'm going to share what I have created to you in this video. So let's check it out. So the name of this book was originally going to be called Cartoon Drawing Made Easy. So here is going to be the table of contents, and I'm only going to be showing you the first 3 chapters because that's as much as I completed. So let's check out the introduction first. Here's the mascot, Malapax. Introduction, starting your journey. What inspired this book? This book was made to educate both myself and others. Perhaps you are one of the few artists in which it does not matter how much you educate yourself in drawing, there are either concepts that you are still not getting or are not explained to your understanding. Maybe the resources you came across expect you to know too much already. Well, this book is meant to help people learn how to draw cartoon characters with less of an expert level. It does not follow all the rules of art, but still teaches a presentable final outcome. Even though I feel I draw very well, there are gaps to my understanding of art as much as I enjoy it, and while I have been doing it for so long, certain concepts do not come as naturally to me as do other artists. So this book was created as a resource to self-educate in addition to help others who would like to learn art as well. It is a short guide to refer to for people who are either getting started or getting back into it after a long absence. In other words, let's learn together. Slow and steady wins the race. Time is wasted by worrying about it, but not by taking it. Oh yeah, I used to be very hard on myself in the past, but I've learned to be more accepting of it as I got older. While different art setbacks, such as road bumps, procrastination, or even plagiarism, are not helpful nor recommended. Oh, and I'm just letting you know that I don't plagiarize art, but a lot of artists do start off this way, unfortunately. And these are usually indications that there's something underneath their gaps. Perhaps a reason a lot of artists start off that way is because they do not know how to begin. Just like building a house, we can't start building from the final details. We need to build a framework. A more beginner knowledge needs to be understood first. Part of trying anything new involves the willingness to make mistakes and then learn from them. No one is a pro when they first start. Instead, it takes time and patience, and some artists who have been drawing for years may need extra help. That can involve reference images, modeling, and other ways to improve drawing. And it is not anything to take shame in, since everyone learns differently. It is better to learn than to rush. Yeah, it's pretty much with this anything, even playing video games. I mean, everybody is going to lose before they win, right? Okay, chapter 1, breaking things down. And I do this a lot in a lot of my software tutorial videos. I like to break everything down before I jump right into the tools or key commands, because I believe those beginning steps matter first. Symbols for character drawing. When drawing the figure of any character, you may find it easier to break it down into symbols, lines, and shapes. Here is what they can be used for when drawing your character. So what do I mean by this? Well, a lot of times when people draw, they start off by drawing the finalized look. But what I'm saying is no, break it all down into simple lines and shapes. So if you look behind this line, you'll see the character Sammy. Well, that's the completion. But before you start off drawing that way, maybe just draw a line such as the action line, and then afterward add two other lines for the shoulder line and hips, the top of the shoulder line and the top of the hips. And then if you look over here, for I have under shapes, these are the body parts, which is the head, torso, and pelvis. And then down here, I added extra lines for the arms and legs. And then there are these oval shapes for feet, and then lines for fingers, because let's face it, hands are very complicated, and so I find that it's better to have a shape for the hand palms and then lines for the fingers. And then I have circles for the joints. Now, you don't have to draw those if you're doing a very standard pose, but for something more dynamic, I'll explain why joints are important later on. The action line is usually the first thing drawn. It represents the pose and the proportion of the character. In this case, you will see that Linda is leaning in a direction of a backward C curve. I forgot to mention the reason to draw an action line is because it represents the overall character height and the pose. Because if you don't draw an action line, then you may accidentally go off the page. This creates more proportion, and then the lines such as the hips and shoulder line will estimate more of how you want to have your proportion. So this is not a full step process. These steps are just to indicate what each of the symbols can be used for. Okay, so the shoulders and hips, that's what I mentioned. And then the body parts. So it looks like I used a circle for the head, and rather than to break the torso and pelvis into two different shapes, I used a different shape for both the torso and pelvis. Then I used lines for the arms and legs, circles for the joints, circles for the hand palms, lines for the fingers, and then ovals for the feet. Okay, and now phases for character drawing. Alright, so what do I mean by phases? Well, something that is not helpful for me in a lot of step processes of drawings is that they don't really explain how they went from one step to another. And so I wanted to create different phases that would make more sense. Well, it is very common to rush in drawing the final details of your character, but this may make things confusing. Instead, break the drawing process into 3 phases: figure, mannequin, and drawing. Okay, so phase 1, the figure. The figure is the same as the 2 symbols, so like what I mentioned earlier, lines and shapes. Draw a basic shape for the body and connect the lines for the arms and legs. So everything that I've been showing you so far, it was just the symbols. So the figure is the lines and shapes. And now the next phase would be the mannequin. Trace over the figure to draw the mannequin of your character. So the figure is good for an overall look because I don't find it would be too hard to draw this, but because this would be harder to draw, the figure is what gives you a good reference. Phase 3, the details. Add details to your mannequin such as hair, clothing, and facial features. Here are more examples of the 3 phases of character drawing. Notice how the bodies can be any random shape. Starting off this way creates a roadmap for the future details. And again, I use the same 3 phases, the figure, mannequin, and details. And here I see that I overlapped the circular head with the circular body. And here I notice with the female character, the body is more of an hourglass. So I noticed that these different shapes tell different emotions. This one looks more superior. This one looks kind of goofy. And this one looks more feminine. Finding the shapes. Now let's work with non-human characters. Whichever one we choose to draw, we can visualize different shapes that make up the body. This helps determine how to draw the figure. Take any character, such as Weber the spider. Now break it down into simple lines and shapes. By doing so, we now have a roadmap of how we want to draw the character. Here is another character, Hair Monster. Again, follow the same process by using the symbols. Drawing the figure first creates a clearer understanding of how to draw the final look. So this really helps having a figure. Here's a more complex example. Let's take the slacker, Zoni the Roadrunner, and let's think about which features can be simplified. Okay, because here you'll see that he has things such as a unibrow, kind of like Roadrunner hair, a tail, and funky bird feet. So here I use lines for the hair, an extra oval for the beak, lines for the hair, and so on. This time, extra lines have been added for the hair, unibrow, and tail, and an extra shape has been added for the beak. Is there an echo in here? Oh my. The next part of this video will appear next Wednesday. Thank you for watching.